But on the other side of the globe, in the USSR, Alexey Pajitnov held the pieces to one of the most addictive games in video game history. Tetris.
The very early 80s were very dark years because it was absolute stagnation in politics. The moral climate were very dark. We didn't have any hope. We don't have too much entertainment. I mean, we have some movies, we have some theaters, but basically the life wasn't settled for entertainment.
In 1985, Alexey worked as a computer engineer at the Russian Academy of Science.
I spent 14 hours a day in my job, just playing with computer, like young hackers now. I realized that it's not what really interests me. My heart was in all this kind of small riddles, diversions, and puzzles.
You know, he conceived of this idea, the kind of mathematically pure idea of taking all the different ways you can configure a set of blocks together and then having those not simply put together in a normal 2D puzzle, but have them fall in motion.
I imagine the pieces start falling down. You want to rotate them because that's very funny. Shift it and put it back. So that was the main idea of Tetris.
It was a different way for people to think in real time than other games. It used a part of people's brains that they aren't used to using in real time in video games. It was such an awesome idea that you really didn't need graphics to sell that game.
By 1986, PC versions of the game appeared beyond the Iron Curtain. But Alexey had signed a 10-year license agreement for his game. Taking a cue from Atari, the USSR sold the game around the world and made millions from Alexey's creation.
Well, that happened with everything. So the people basically had no rights, and whatever they produced or did, everything was taken from them. I didn't want to fight for my rights. I would rather have the game out, published.
Play Tetris, my friends.
For all the Cold War posturing by the world's superpowers, Tetris was instantly welcomed into homes and offices across the globe.
If you play it enough, like I did when it first came out, you start dreaming in Tetris.
Tetris, I get Tetris vision. I look around the landscape and I go, oh, that would fit in there, you know. You really rearrange the world.
The beauty of Tetris, it's not really culturally specific.
And I think that's why it traveled all over the world, went on handheld devices, and it was the game equivalent of the song that you can't get out of your head.
One side I kind of a little bit compromise on this serious computer business, but from the other hand, I got so much fun into this world that nobody could stand against it.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
In 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, and a few years later, so did the USSR.
Extraordinary drama here in Moscow tonight.
The Cold War conflict that had launched the video gaming industry was over. Alexey moved to the U.S. in 1991, and 5 years later, the rights to Tetris returned to him.
Now I'm just by my own, and I do some small game design with my friends, and the rest of the time I'm just reading books and, and enjoy myself.